good, YouTube? It's your boy D-Tom. You already know what time it is. It's reaction time. And today, we're reacting to Charlamagne before they were famous. Breakfast Club, Charlamagne the God. Charlamagne, I like him, or whatever. At first, I didn't like him because when I was a little kid, I was like, nobody should call themselves the God. I started liking Kanye when he came out with the whole Yeezy thing, whatever. But I'm grown, and I really don't care what they do now. Whatever. It's on them. I think he be lit on the show. He be having me weak. He a savage. He the definition of savage, or whatever. He be cracking me up. He lit, bro. Their whole show lit, or whatever. So I might as well watch his before they were famous. Hey.
I never was no big time drug dealer. Most I used to ever sell was 7 grams. We used to call that a quarter spoon in Monk's Corner.
Before Charlamagne would be coined the god of radio, and the Breakfast Club would host interviews with everyone, including Kanye West, Justin Bieber, Jay-Z, Cardi B, Martin Shkerli, and Hillary Clinton.
Now, historically, you've always worn pantsuits.
Yes, well, yes, I have historically.
Is it true Steve Harvey's been your inspiration?
Before Cha the God was sucker punched in the streets of New York City by a dude asking, "Can I get a drop?"
Can I get a drop? Can I get a drop? Nigga, that's the new. You gotta make a "Can I get a drop" T-shirt, dog. Can't get no drop out of me no more. No more. Nigga, that's the new threat.
Before Charlamagne was plagued with questions asking if he was bleaching his skin.
Because this is my natural skin complexion, you dumb fucks. It's called skin discoloration for a reason.
Before Charlamagne would expand his empire with a New York Times best-selling book and take on the role of host for Uncommon Sense with MTV2.
If you're blessed to get into the game and make a legit criminal-free life for yourself, take advantage of that blessing, man, so you can provide for yourself and your loved ones.
Charlamagne knows what he's talking about because during his come-up, he was in and out of jail himself. Once for being involved in a shooting and other times for selling drugs, including crack. Now, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree because one time when he got locked up, he shared a cell with his old man. With no college diploma, Charlamagne set out to find a career for himself, and he toyed with the idea of becoming a rapper before taking a gig as an intern for a radio station out in South Carolina. He would rise through the ranks and make his way to New York City, but not before he was fired several times. At the age of 30, he returned to his parents' home, collecting unemployment with his tail between his legs, where he would wait for a year before his next shot at making it big.
Focus on your breasts or something. You actually have some of the best breasts that I've ever bared witness to. You do have some nice breasts, by the way. You got a begging ass body, I ain't gonna lie. I used to love watching you on Reno 911 because you got a great body.
What's going on, guys? My name's Mike McCrudden, documenting the life and career of Charlamagne prior to fame, here for you on Before They Were Famous. Now, you guys requested this video, and if you want a more in-depth look into his come-up, be sure to check out his book, Black Privilege, Opportunity Comes to Those Who Create It. I'll put a link down below, and, well, now let's get into this bio. Charlamagne was born Leonard McKelvey in Moncks Corner, South Carolina, on June 29, 1980. The son of Jehovah's Witnesses, Leonard's father, Larry, was the man about town, which was a pretty tight-knit community with a population of only 9,500. His old man ran an illegal nightclub and would be spotted rocking red leather pants, telling stories of the crazy parties he used to have with Rick James.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, you knew that clip was coming. Young Charlamagne grew up in a house with his sister and cousins, but back then, he was a bit of a loser. He would rock a fanny pack and big reading glasses, which earned him the nickname Nard. He excelled at school and was in the advanced classes, but it was decided by his father that the boy needed to be toughened up. That's when his cousins started bullying him and pushing him around. Then the kids at school, they started picking on him, and one time it got so bad his glasses were broken. Yeah. This was his breaking point. He stated in his interview with Vulture, "I became like Batman. I decided to thug myself out all the way." By the time he made it to Berkeley High School, he was a full-on shit disturber. His grades began to slip, and he started selling crack on the streets. He ran with a crew known as the infamous Buddha Heads, and Nard didn't want people to know his real name, so he adopted a new one.
Never wanted to say my real name, which was Larry, because that's my father. and they see my face and be like, oh, that's Larry's son. So I would always say my name was Charles or Charlie.
Having an alias is good from keeping you from getting a whooping from your father, but unfortunately it wasn't enough to keep him out of prison. There was an incident involving a shooting where Charlie was in the backseat of a car when it went down. This landed him in county jail, slapped with a felony charge, assault with intent to kill. For this one, he spent 41 days behind bars. Then when he got out, well, he was back on the streets, but then got busted multiple times for possession and intent to sell drugs.
Dang.
And I've been to jail for it a few times. So, you know, it is what it is.
On one occasion, he actually shared a cell with his old man who had been put away for dealing drugs himself. Now, Charlamagne at this time, he had dropped out of high school, but he decided to take up night classes. He also took an interest in literature, and it was in a history book that he came across Charlamagne, which in French means Charles the Great. This is a warrior who used his power to spread religion and education. He got the name tattooed on his forearm, but opted to trade an A for an E in its spelling. As for the God part, well, I'll let him explain.
I used to study the 5% teachings of Islam, and they teach you that the black man is God, and God is a Greek word derived from the Aramic words Guma Az-Dabar, which means wisdom, strength, and beauty. So I just started calling myself Charlamagne the G.O.D.
Charlamagne also grabbed a girl from his high school who he has since married, and together they would later welcome a daughter. But this man likes to keep his private life private. After his third time in prison, he began to put some serious thought into his future. He picked up gigs as a telemarketer. He worked at Taco Bell, in a warehouse, a flower garden, and a clothing store in a mall called Demo. But what he thought he wanted to do was become a rapper. There was a radio station in the town of Walterboro, an hour away, and they would let aspiring MCs go on the air and freestyle. You know? Charlamagne did his bit, but quickly realized that rapping wasn't his forte. He did, however, see potential to utilize his larger-than-life personality as a man on the radio, so he asked how he could get a gig.
I was like, hey, man, how'd you get in the radio? And he told me, he said he went and got an internship, and I said, so I can just go down to the radio station and get an internship. And he was like, yeah, and like, you don't have to be in school, and he was like, I don't think so.
It wasn't long before he was learning the ropes, and his larger-than-life personality quickly began to shine. He worked at several stations traveling from Charleston to Columbia, and sometimes he would show up to work drunk or high and say whatever the hell was on his mind. Typically, he would take a station's ratings from number 14 and number 2, but his unorthodox strategies and off-the-cuff remarks would always get him fired. In 2005, Child of God decided to make a big play and got in front of radio queen Wendy Williams, giving her his mixtape. Her reply, she told him, "Get the fuck away from me." But despite their awkward first encounter, Wendy saw something in Charlamagne and brought him on as the co-host for her next gig with the WBLS on the Wendy Williams Experience. Charlamagne wasn't exactly embraced out the gate, but slowly grew in the audience, eventually becoming a fan favorite. You know? It was through this gig that he discovered his talents for being upfront and asking unorthodox questions from megastars, which raised his publicity.
This is Wendy's office. This is only one section of the office. Scroll around, scroll around. All of that. Mad wigs.
The pair were on fire as a team and worked side by side as Wendy Williams made her move into television.
I need the world to love me. So here's where the real work begins.
For the first year and a half, Wendy and her husband couldn't afford to pay Charlamagne. Instead, they offered him a place to sleep, which he accepted because it was a great opportunity. Big things were happening. Unfortunately, after 2.5 years, Cha the God was let go from the Wendy Williams radio show, along with most of her staff.
Radio, like all other businesses, is suffering right now.
I can believe that. You know, it's a bad economic time all across the board, everywhere. So everybody's trying to pinch pennies.
But not all hope was lost. Charlamagne picked up another radio gig, this time in Philly on 100.3, but after 6 months, he was fired once again. The next year was pretty bleak for Cha the God. He moved back to his parents' house in Monk's Corner. He collected unemployment and waited for his next shot at the big time. His big break would come when the owners of Power 105.1 were looking to overthrow Hot 97 and DJ Funkmaster Flex. Again, it was Charlamagne's no-hold-bars questions that would wow their audience and have him, DJ Envy, and Angela Yee not only dominate the airwaves, but producing viral videos. Like that time Birdman stopped by their studio for a total of 2 minutes.
He was clowning.
I'm the radio guy. Why pull up on the radio guy? Don't act tough with the radio guy.
Hey, my nigga. Y'all finished or y'all done? I ain't got no more talking. Let's rock.
Yeah, that video clocked in over 12 million views at the time of this recording, and it continues to climb. Child of God is now considered the Howard Stern of hip-hop radio, and guests are scratching at the bone to get on his show to prove that they can handle his questions. As for the rest of the story, well, we'll have to wait and see because this is before they're famous. My name is Mike McCredden, and we make all sorts of celebrity
Man, that video was lit. Go ahead, smash the like button for my man Charlamagne the God. Go ahead, tell me down in the comments below what else you want to see me react to. Tell me if you want to see me react to Wendy Williams before they were famous or Birdman after they were famous. Go ahead, tell me in the comments down below which one of my videos is your favorite. Go ahead, smash the like button. Go ahead, hit subscribe. Make sure you follow me on all my social media. The links will be in the description down below. Hey, that way.